get my life together here. It's not working. But we're going to do what we got to do. What's up, everybody? Live Farm 73 here. Good morning. Guava. Guava, everybody. What's going on? Now, I have made it back to Easley Island. I've been here for a couple of days because I ran into a wall putting in my wood stove. I need pipe. Like I had to order more pipe. I want to talk about wood stove stuff. Hey, my Renaissance grandma. You number one, my Renaissance grandma. I need a t-shirt that say Renaissance grandma is number one. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Locks and Land. How you doing? Second floor garden. How y'all doing this morning? Guinea, how you doing? I can't pronounce your name. Jabri, how you doing if I pronounced it right? Natalie, if I don't. Vigar, Latanya, Laurel, Morgan. I can't pronounce your name, my friend. Something Ra. How you doing, Kelly? Hey, Kim. Hey, Chef, Handyman. Bless Queen, Susie, Pamela. I wanted to come in here and talk to y'all about, I know everybody is kind of looking for land and thinking you going to, well, not thinking, but want to put a tiny house on. That's what this is about. I'm going to try to stay on that subject if we can. How you doing? If you're interested in this, I just got a little insight that I want to share with everybody of my own, which I just, before you get into this, how you doing, Elena? Hey, Terry. I can't see my own doggone channel. Let me see this real quick. Oh, I see what's wrong. I got a billion apps open, that's what. Hey, DJ, how you doing? I'm trying to get my life together. There we go. There we go. Now I can see y'all better. There we go. There we go. Give my own self a thumbs up. How y'all doing? If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. She's going to the P.O. box today. Yeah, I just got home. She's going to the P.O. box today. I literally told her last night. Thank you, everybody, for the confirmation. That's right. Give me 3 thumbs up if I'm coming in clear. I'm starting to get hot already. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the confirmation. All right. Now, I want to see how many people, if you already have land or if you're thinking about purchasing land, let me know. And do you plan on putting like a tiny house or shed 2 house on it? If so, hopefully my experiences may help you, because I'm not able to tell y'all everything every day. Every time I'm out there, I can't tell you everything because it's just so much. It's so much to learn. It's so much to know. Okay, Jabber, yes. DJ looking. Okay, you looking for land or you looking for the tiny home or both? If you're looking for land, say you're looking for land. If you're looking for the tiny home or if you're looking for both. Natalie said, I have land and got my shed last week. Oh, you really gonna want to know. Okay, see, Francis, I'm looking for both. Said, thinking about buying land and turning a shed into a home. Okay, so you kind of saw me putting that bed together. I had a couple of insights that I want to talk about. Tiny Purple Guards is looking for land. Reveals a yes, process of purchasing. In process of purchasing, okay. Danica looking for land. Chef Handyman looking for land and already live in a tiny house on wheels, okay. Land with a mobile home, okay. Y'all excuse me too, because I got the sniffles a little bit, so I'll be wiping around, trying not to do it all in your face. Job you're looking for both. Ordering hours next week. Have 30 acres. Okay, locks and land homestead. You said you're ordering yours and look and you have 30 acres. This is gonna be good for you too. I bought half an acre and we'll put a shed and an RV on a chine moss. Okay, okay. Land, good morning. All right, I'm trying to read everybody to make sure we kind of all on the same page. I'm trying not to leave nobody out. Because there's a few things, if you haven't done this at all yet, that I'm just telling you what my journey has been so far. Zoom testing, okay. Want a tiny home? I'm looking for about 3 to 5 acres, tiny purple garden. Okay. All right, I'm gonna just get into it. I jotted a few things down because I didn't want to. They're the reason that I'm doing this video this morning, and I wanted to do it this early because I just got through watching something that got me like. I watched somebody else's video, and the fantasy got them. Tiny Purple says, I'm living on about 3/4 of an acre that I'm turning into a small market garden. Okay, okay. Tony, land with a regular house will be fine for me and the girls. Okay, okay. All right. For the people that's wanting to, the reason why we trying to put tiny homes on our land to initially is number one, downsizing for so much stuff, and two, it's just easier to kind of function with a smaller house. It's easier to make repairs. It's cheaper to make repairs. It's cheaper to maintain. It's cheaper to power. It's cheaper to heat and cool, but it's a little more difficult to live. How you doing? How you doing? So 20 acres here. Trying to figure out what to grow, so full-time work at home. Okay. Trying to figure out what to grow. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. I watched a video this morning early. I've been up since 2:30 because I got the sniffles and my throat was a little sore. So I've been up, and I wanted to do this at 2:30 in the morning, but I couldn't. Let's get down to it. This is a question I got for everybody, and for people that's coming in watching this video later, you might want to ask yourself this. If you're getting land and you're looking for a tiny home, my main question is, what are you doing this for? That's an excellent question that everybody needs to know. What are you doing this for? You can answer that because I'm going to give some reality checks on that. You can answer it while I talk, I guess. I watched a video, and this guy purchased a container, a 40-foot long, high top storage container, the big metal containers. And he had his video was talking about things that he didn't know that everybody should know before they purchase a tiny home or a container home. And I didn't comment on the guy's video because I had nothing good to say. So I just kept it to myself. I didn't, I ain't big on thumbing people down. I just leave you alone. But this was what got me. I watched the video, and the guy, right off the bat, he's a big guy, okay? He seemed to be even bigger than me. And he's complaining about the problems living in a tiny home. And that kind of got me right out the back. Like, you kind of knew what you was getting into when you got into anything that starts with the word tiny, okay? I'm keeping it 100. I'm a big guy, and I know when we talk about the word tiny in front of anything, tiny home, tiny toilet, okay? it changes the dynamics of things. And I'm not joking. I'm being serious and realistic. So he purchased this container. He's a big guy. And he went on through the video talking about how minute problems to me and clearly about 11,000 other commenters. The problems were he was like spider webs get in crevices, insects get in crevices. There's not enough room in the kitchen. He could have left that alone. But you dig what I'm saying? My point was, after watching him, every complaint he had, and I'm not even counting the ones that was just nonsense, the complaints that he had about living in a tiny home, to me, in my own opinion and factually, was he was trying to live a normal lifestyle with an average size house in a tiny home. And I was like, that don't make any sense. And I think when we go into this, you need a realistic view on what you're doing this for. And I think if you go out there and you just buy a tiny home, you buy some land, but you got these big thoughts and dreams and wishes on trying to bring your city life or your big family oriented life or all your friends and function life into this tiny home life, it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. And one of his biggest problems was he has a big family and they have a lot of family functions, and clearly his house used to be, he said he was coming out of a 1,400 square foot home. So his house was always the main house where the family met up. But him and his wife decided to move into this container home that's, for only 40 foot long and about 8 feet wide. And he still wants that lifestyle. And he complained. I'm going to call it complaining because that's what it was. He complained about it's not enough storage. It's not enough space for entertaining guests. It's not enough space. And this, I'm going to get on his personal problem. One of his personal problems was not enough space between him and his wife. I can kind of understand, but he kind of drove that home a little too hard for me. What he meant was your personal space. Like he misses his personal space, like away from his wife. And that, I'm not striking that against him at all, because everybody need their personal space. I don't care how long you've been married. I don't care how much you love another person. And when you move into a tiny home, to me, oh, scratch that out. That's not even a factor. You shouldn't even think about having no personal space if you go and buy you a shed to home or a container home or even a really small square footage of house. Ain't no your office, my office, your room, my room type of deal. That's over. That's over with. Okay? When she pass gas, you gonna smell it. And it ain't gonna take long when you in that small of a space. Moving 20 says he should consider just increasing the size a little. But see, that's where the reality kicks in. What's your name? Movington 24. That's why I'm making this video. Because the reality is, if you gotta keep adding on to this tiny house, it's not a tiny house anymore. It doesn't even make sense after a while, because now after you keep on adding on all these structures, now you just could have just put a normal size home on the lot. That was my thing. It's like the reality of what you're trying to accomplish is gone. It's diminished. Once you start, okay, I need to add another container on, and then another container for my space, then another shed, and then I'm gonna put, after a while, it literally doesn't make any sense. And we can talk about that too. because every time you say, oh, all we do is just add on another container or add on another shed. Now we're talking about not just the price of the shed, not just the price of a container. You're also talking about extra costs on wiring that up electrically, plumbing, drywall, insulation, flooring, roofing. All of that has to be done all over again. And that's a cost that Rucker Homestead, what's up? That's a cost that people don't be thinking about until it start hitting them in the pocket. More heating, because the heat that you got for this small space ain't gonna go over into that other shed. I don't care where you build it at. It's just not gonna be enough. Heating and cooling, all of that stuff. More windows, all of that. No, we're not adding those costs up. And so it's not as simple as just adding on another structure onto your structure, because it's not enough. You got to think about that stuff. You just can't say, I'm gonna just add another piece on. Somebody said that to me a while back. Like, why don't you just add another shed onto that shed? You have more room. No, it's a wrap. You got to make the best of what you got, because now you're talking about, again, like I said, more electrical, wiring that up, plumbing it up, more drywall, more insulation, more flooring, more everything, double time. And now you in this probably damn near $40,000-$50,000 deep. And you kind of like, after a while, start getting stupid. I need people to understand that part. After a while, when you start adding up the nickels and dimes that you putting together and throwing at this project, it start getting stupid. Okay? And I had to pull back myself, because that was the other reason that made me do this video. Is because it's times where I'm overthinking everything. Like, I want this, I want that, I want this, but I'm thinking about what I would want in my normal home. You're not going to have the luxuries of your normal home inside of one of these tiny homes or sheds to home or containers. You can try, but once you start realizing how much space that all of these lavish components take up, and how much less space you have, and how much less space you have to put anything else of priority, things like televisions and furnishings start to fall to the wayside. And after a while, you find yourself, you got a nice big screen TV, but you sitting on a milk crate, and it don't make any sense anymore. Okay, that's a good one, Joseph, because he did bring that up. He said, man, all the personal space you could want in the world exists outside the home. Go for a walk if you own land. That's true. Now, he did make a good point, because I believe in what you said, Joseph S. On a good weather day, that's totally right. On a day and the sun is shining and the weather is nice. But he said, on those days where it's raining, it's cloudy, it's cold, most people don't want to be outside. Everybody ain't built like us. That's clear and evident. Movington 24 said, I think it's on your own it's on your own land, can do whatever you want, have more outdoor space. Yeah, but I'm addressing that now. You can, to a point now, okay? But you got to remember, all days ain't going to be sunny and bright. All days ain't going to be 73 degrees outside. It's going to be them cold days. It's going to be them rainy days, snowy days, depending on where you are. Weather is not going to always be favorable where everybody just want to hang outside on the barbecue table. So to me, he had a point there. Now, that's if you're trying to entertain a bunch of guests. What I suggest is you build yourself like a pavilion. Build yourself like a pavilion or something. and put a bunch of, backyard barbecue tables under there and some chairs, fireplace or fire pit, so the family can really come together like that. That won't cost as much a whole nother structure where the whole family can gather and be comfortable versus everybody trying to squeeze in this house and sing happy birthday. Okay. Let me see. L. Whitaker, practice living in a medium-sized tent in your backyard for a year. Get used to, yeah, that sounds real easy. Locks and Land says a pole barn with concrete is our plan. Mine is kind of like, I have a carport, but I'm thinking about either, if I can't move my carport that I have, I'm buy another carport and turn it into kind of like a pavilion where the family can come together and be out of the rain and be out of the weather, be out of the sun. Dr. Bo says, yes, we have small barn to entertain family. Right. Now that I understand. But what this guy was coming across, his pinky was a little too far out for me. And I was trying to figure out, you bought a tiny home so you could minimize. To me, this is my opinion, okay? Purchasing a tiny home is, even if you're talking about even a mobile home, stuff like that, you're talking about downsizing your lifestyle, downsizing and minimizing your lifestyle. And it will force you to do it. You won't have any choice on the matter. Tiny Purple Garden, I think the most important thing is to know yourself, what you want, and your comfort level. I'm going to keep reading. My hubby hates the outdoors, so we need a place for him to be able to chill on the inside and be comfortable indoors. I agree. I agree. Lady Liz, she's kind of outdoors, but she ain't as outdoors as me. I stay outside all day long. I come in the house, the inside of the house to me is a pit stop. That's me. So we're like almost polar opposites in that I don't care about bugs. I don't care when the ants start hatching and flying through the sky and mosquitoes. That stuff don't bother me like that where I run back into the house. Oh, I seen a snake. That stuff don't bother me. I stay outside most of the time. Y'all see me half the time, and y'all only see me on this camera. I stay out there. So it's hidden costs that that people don't really think about or people should be aware of. Now I'm gonna tell you one other one. Be prepared to waste a lot of money. Be prepared to waste a lot of money. I know everybody like, what you mean waste some money? Say exactly, have a plan and purpose with, yep, that's right. You're going to waste money in trying to figure out how to make this thing livable. There's going to be times where you get things, say, off of Facebook Market and secondhand and stuff like that, that you can't return. Or they're going to be purchase items that you can't return. Like you can't return things like gas stoves. It's certain things they won't let you return. Nobody will. And I kid you not, right now I have 3 gas stoves and I can only use one. So I'm going to be trying to sell the other 2 because I didn't really know. It's a lot of measuring. Let's put it like that. Don't mismeasure. Don't mismeasure nothing. And your hopes and your dreams. And here's another part where you're going to waste money. Because the first idea that you have, so I purchased these countertops and I purchased these cabinets and I had an idea for what stove I wanted. But then I found the perfect small dinette set that fits perfect, that takes up room, that changes all my plans. So now I'm stuck with a 4-burner stove that I don't even need, a stovetop that I don't even need. Tiny house says I purchased our first home. It's a pig without lipstick. Okay. But yeah, you be prepared to waste some money on items. You're gonna be finding light fixtures that you really like, things like that. That once you really get into what you're doing, you're gonna find out that this was not the best purchase for the end game. Let's see. Tiny Purple says, yeah, the cost of learning can't be avoided. Yes, you either pay for classes or pay with mistakes. And I'm gonna tell you this, the Purple Garden, what I'm learning is when I say waste money, because people go into this. I'm in the same state with you, Horton. People go into these plans, into these projects with a budget and a plan. People go into these projects with a budget and a plan. And I can almost perfectly guarantee everybody is going over the budget because you know what you want. You think you know what you want. You know what you need. And it never fails. You always find something better, cheaper, or just a couple dollars more. You find something that's more economical or more efficient for a couple dollars more. And next thing you know, here we are. And then you start finding things on sale. So you start saying, okay, I'm gonna buy that. And then turn around and be like, oh, I found another one even better. And like I got 2 beds. I got a twin size bed, I got a queen size bed. I chose the queen size bed. And you know, you gotta know what you're doing. So sending that bed back is not going to be able to happen. So I'm gonna have to list that on Facebook Market. So you're gonna waste some money. So if you make a budget for what you're doing, be prepared to go over your budget. I don't care how strict on budget you are. My wife is strict on a budget. She sticks and strict to it. But I'm telling you right now, you gonna go over. And with the reason why, another reason I'm bringing all of this up is because y'all know prices of everything is about to go through the roof. They're already through the roof. Okay. Hey, homesteader, Rachel, everything is already through the roof. And the prices are going to keep going up until we won't be able to afford any of it. And I kind of wanted to get this out, and I'm glad I used that guy's video so we can really, really think about what we're doing. Hey, Quan. I say hit up secondhand places first before you start shopping online because you can't see, touch, feel nothing that's online. Excuse me. And when you're getting things secondhand, you know what you're getting. You see it. You're looking at it. You purchase something off of Facebook Market, you can go and look at it, see it, feel it, touch it, measure it, and put an eye on it. You purchase things from flea markets and yard sales, you can put an eye on it and you can really make something happen that way. So I say you want to hit those places first, and you'll probably get a better deal than purchasing online. Hey, Life Unfiltered. Sandra says, yes, in rehab, you should start with double your budget. Yes, yes. Tiny Purple said, yes, prices are going to be insane. Research things and hit thrift stores. Hit those thrift stores hard. That's another place where you're going to waste money, which I have done. You will see one, which I did. I saw one dinette set at the Goodwill, and I purchased it. It was $50. Nice, perfect, small size. Then I turned around and found a better, more perfect fitting dinette set for another $50. Now I got 2 dinette sets. Like, what am I about to do? So that was money that I wasted. Now I got to turn around and try to resell it. Okay, try to recoup my money. But that kind of stuff happens when you're bouncing from thrift store to thrift store. You think you found a gold mine gem here, but then you get to this next one and they really had what you was looking for. And you can't wait because you know if you leave, somebody gonna buy that. And it's perfect for your situation. So that's where a lot of that wasted money comes from. Okay. I'm gonna let's see, get in the chat real quick, and then I'm gonna come back to my point. How you doing, Crystal? Let me see. Tiny House said, I'm really hoping that the next 4 years make it possible to actually do some better shopping. Yeah, I'm not doing that today. Tiny Purple House said, yes, prices are going to be insane. Yeah, got that one. Okay, so yeah, you saw that, Joseph S. I ain't got time for that today. Not today. So if you're thinking about buying land or and buying things, tiny homes, those shed prices are going through the roof too, because more and more people are losing their homes and they're literally moving into these homes. They're moving into these sheds. And some states and some municipalities are making it perfectly legal to live in these sheds now, because it's getting to a point where either you're going to let people move into these sheds or you're going to have a nation of homeless people. And they know, even this next coming administration, even they know that, with all the rules and laws that they're making, even they know you better change something or you're going to have an uprising, a historical uprising, because you can't put everybody out of their homes. I don't care what your plans is. I don't care what numbers that y'all crunched. Um, yeah, Sun Goddess. I don't care what numbers they crunching in some office. That don't mean nothing to the real, honest, everyday working person. It don't mean your number crunching in your office in your expensive suit and shoes don't mean nothing to people like me. When you're calculating numbers, you don't know each and every number that you're writing and calculating is an actual human being. See, they look at numbers as numbers. But when you're talking about economic reasons and economic purposes and societal purposes, each number that you write, I don't care what numerical thing you put down, those are human beings. So when they say, hey, we're going to cut this, cut that, cut this, cut that, and it's going to be this many trillions of dollars, they're counting numbers. But each one of those numbers they forgot has a personality. It has a spirit. It has a soul. And it's a human being. That's why I don't want to talk about what that person just said. So this is why I'm talking about this. They're crunching numbers and forgetting that they're people. And here we are, okay? So we got to start talking about minimizing, downsizing. And if you purchasing some land, if you purchasing a shed and everything else, these are a few things we want to look out for. Because right now, people are moving in these sheds. They're even starting to build them themselves. Like, listen, it is what it is. People are living in their car more. We can stop calling that van life. It's just life now, right? We can stop calling those van lifers. They are just lifers, because back then it was a trend. Back then it was the thing to do. Before it was a trend, people was really doing it. But then it turned into a trend. And now this is not becoming a choice to do anymore. Living in your van is not just by choice. Now it's like You ain't got no choice but to live in this van. Because even though you might have good credit, you might have a couple dollars in the bank, you still can't afford the rent. You a good person. Everybody keep thinking just because they live in a car or a van, they on drugs. Them people can't afford to live. If you won't pay people a decent wage, where are they going to live? I'm talking about honest, upstanding citizens. Think about it. Everyday workers, good credit, no criminal history, no crime record, tax paying person. If you don't pay them an honest wage, but you keep raising the rent and the mortgage, and then you keep raising the interest rates, and at the same time, you make them have to insure everything on top of having children, what can you afford? What can you afford anymore? You can't afford to freaking live. Okay? So that part is what people need to really take into account of right now. It's a lot of us don't think that this can happen to us. You're watching people that ended up homeless. You're listening to their stories here on YouTube. They're not on drugs and alcohol. They just got in a bad situation, end up losing a job. So I listened to this one. I'm gonna get back on subject in a second, okay? I was watching this one kind of documentary interview where they was interviewing this girl that moved to Atlanta. The only reason she was homeless in Atlanta, which I've heard the story up close and personal, the only reason this girl was homeless, this company flew her down everything. She had the job, so they told her she got to move to location, which was Atlanta, Georgia. So by the time she was able to sell her house, you heard what I said, she owned a home. She had to sell her house, uproot her kids from school. She had 2 kids, and sell all her stuff. And this company was supposed to basically purchase her a new home, give her a new job, everything with a great paying wage. By the time she got to Atlanta, they was like, yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it. And then the only slot that we may be able to do it is going to be 6 months before you can fill that position. For whatever reason, I don't remember XYZ. Y'all probably watched this already on YouTube. So she sold everything she owned, her home, her extra cars, all her stuff, uprooted her kids, and then she moved to Atlanta, Georgia with her children. They are living in a car because I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, Georgia. I used to live there for 5 years, and I'm telling you, you can't afford to live in Atlanta, Georgia. If you move to Atlanta, I'm gonna tell you this. If you move to Atlanta and you ain't from Atlanta, your skill set and your hustle game gotta be top notch. Don't go to Atlanta. Atlanta is like Hollywood. From what I hear about Hollywood is don't go there on these little hopes and dreams and wishes of becoming a star bullcrap. You better go with your hustle, some skill sets, a couple of certifications under your belt. Don't move to Atlanta if you ain't got none of that. I'm not kidding around. I lived there for 5 years and I had all of the above. I had skill set, I had certifications, and I had mad hustle game. And that's the only way we was making it. So she's in Atlanta and I understood totally what she was going through. And the only thing that you possibly could afford in Atlanta, where I lived in College Park, and I lived in this, I can't even remember the name of the apartments. Woo! Woo! I thought I was from the hood. Woo! I lived in College Park. That was almost as bad as living in Metro Atlanta on MLK Boulevard, MLK and Peyton Road. I lived right there, and I lived on the east side. I lived in Decatur. I don't even want to count Decatur because I lived with my brother and he had his pinky out, so that don't count. College Park, Y'all remember back in the day when Atlanta was on the rise in the rap game and in the music industry and the entertainment industry. All the stuff them AT aliens was rapping about and showing you is real. They're not playing. This is like you go to LA or something, and we watch LA on TV until you go and see and learn the hard way if you make it out. That kind of thing, like if you ain't from here, don't come here thing. Yeah. That's a lot of parts of Atlanta and Texas from what I hear. If you ain't from here, don't come here. So anyway, that woman ended up becoming homeless out of any of her control. So all of her money went to feeding her 2 kids and putting gas in this car and having to move this car everywhere constantly because there's nowhere to park in Atlanta, Georgia. See, this ain't like moving to South Carolina where I am here or North Carolina where things are more rural. No, you ain't about to park your car in no Publix or no Kroger parking lot and think you're going to be cool for the night. If the police don't knock on your door, somebody else going to come knock on your door and they ain't telling you to move. It's like break yourself. I lived there long enough to know this ain't no game here. The things that I can pull off in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida, you can't pull off in Atlanta. You can't pull that off in Atlanta. I don't care what you think. And anybody, if I got some AT aliens in here right now, would you tell them, please? You ain't about to be out here all willy-nilly sleeping in your car, your van, outside of one of these grocery stores or a truck stop. That's not about to happen. Okay, so let me get back on task. Don't think that this won't happen to you. Hey, unbiased. Don't think that this can't happen to any of us, especially now with this new administration coming in, just sweeping the whole place. They ain't sweeping the rug. They throwing all the rugs out. Okay? Now, I want to talk about getting these homes. I'm going to tell you one of your biggest expenses. I don't care where you live. I'm going to tell you from experience, one of your biggest expenses. Let me see. Ms. Sun Goddess says, and when you go to get some areas up north, no public bathrooms, better have a cup. Don't get me started on that. You know them urinals from the hospital? I went online and bought about 10 of them. I got one in every car, one in every structure. I'm not playing. Get you a urinal. Y'all seen the one my wife, I got her a urinal. Because you ain't about to be going and stopping in these truck stops and in these gas stations because you will go in one of these gas stations and get ganked for real. Like you'll come out crying and calling 911 with your pants around your ankles. I don't let my wife go in these gas station bathrooms, man. If I'm not there on the outside, standing outside the door, I don't let her go in there. Look, we in this trailer. I made everything possible for you to go in the trailer. I'll purchase you anything you want. I get rid of these beds just so you can be comfortable on the seat, your own personal toilet. I don't want her in there. That's why I made it so we can wash up. We can use the bathroom when we want to I made my little trailer completely 100% self-contained with heat, cooling, facilities, sleeping area, food, water. There is no reason for us to leave this trailer. Nothing if we need it. Because when we on the road in that little trailer, I don't want my wife in these little pit stop gas stations and stuff. No. Now, as far as you purchasing a tiny home or any home at all, y'all, can I put this on your mind? Then I'm gonna get into the chat because I think I about covered everything on my list. Wasting money and purpose. The size of your tiny home. Everybody keep thinking they're gonna get a little 5x8 tiny home, a little 12 by 12 tiny home, 10 by 12 tiny home. If you got two babies with you, expand that. I'm going to say this and you ain't going to like what I got to say. Depending on your lot and depending on how many people is going to be there with you, if it's a wife and a husband, if it's a woman and two kids, a man and two kids, whatever. If it's going to be at least two people, I would not, I don't care how much you're trying to minimize, I would not go under anything less than a 12 by 30. I don't care. I don't care if you want the sides wider and go 14 to 28 long, whatever you do. With two people, unless y'all plan on crawling on top of each other all day and night, and I ain't a good way I'm talking about, at least a 12 by 30, at the very minimum. Now, if you got two children, I want you to be wise. If they let you get a 14 or 16 wide by about 40 long, I would do that. Why do you say do that? Listen to me close, because I'm telling you experiences that I'm living through right now. If I had the choice, because that was my daughter's shed at first. If I had my choice, the shed that I built was a 16 by 40. That's the one I was going to have put out there myself. And this is why. If you purchase and have built a 16 by 40, your money is going to hit you. The price going to hit you in the pocket. This is what you do. Spend let me take this off because I'm burning up and my puppy is on my lap making me even hotter. And plus, I think I'm catching a cold, so my temperature is going up. Okay. Purchase the shed. Invest all your money in the structure. I need y'all to listen to this because this is important. If I had this chance to do it all over again, I would tell you what I would have done. I would have sank all my budgeted money into the structure itself. As much living area as I could possibly afford. Everything else can be added at your leisure or when you can afford it. Stick with me on this. When everybody get these tiny homes or shed to homes, what's the first thing you do? You add windows, don't you? The tiny home comes with a door for free. Every shed comes with a door for free. Either you want the barn door or you want the normal house style door. Every shed, no matter where you get it, comes with a door for free. After that, everything else nickel and dime you have to death. How many windows you want, how many entrances, doors and entryways you want. Do you want electrical ran? Do you want a breaker box added? Don't do none of that. Don't put no windows in it and don't put no door, no extra nothing in it unless it's free. Only buy what comes with the shed. If it comes with 2 windows for free, that's part of the price, then yeah, I get it. Do it. But when the longer and the bigger shed you get, you're going to want to keep adding a bunch of windows for light inside the shed. And you also want to make it feel more like home inside the shed. Most people do that. Don't do that. Why, you say? Because windows don't cost very much. You can buy windows from the scrapyard. You can buy windows from anywhere, second hand, and they don't cost you that much. And you can put them in at your leisure. If you have this company add these little tiny windows in your shed, your price gonna go through the roof. And it ain't even hard to hang no dang on window, even if you don't know what you're doing. All you do is frame it out. It's already, every stud is 16-inch on center. And all you do is you run in a whole another 2x4s cross like this, and you put that window in and you drill it in the side. It's 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 super easy. Okay. Now, that way, if you invest all your money in the structure itself and say you're saving money by not adding the windows and all that extra crap, and say, well, I want more square footage. I'm going to use my budget to go into square footage, and I'll put windows in as I see fit and as I can afford it. Trust me on this, family. I wish I had more square footage and put the windows in slowly, because everywhere I go, every thrift store I go, every secondhand place, every Habitat for Humanity, everywhere like that, tons of windows for like $20 a piece. Tons of windows for like 20 bucks a piece for nice windows, Pella windows, name brand windows. You could have purchased them secondhand with all the equipment to them for a fraction of the cost that these people put these little 2x2 windows in your shed and charge you. Let me try to break this down to you. From where we got ours from, and other companies too, every window, the windows are 2 feet wide by 2 feet tall. Every window was $100. I want you to think of this. Every single window in that shed is they tacked on $100 on top of the price of the shed. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 8 windows in that shed, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, 8. Because if you make the door have a window in it, they add that as a window. If you got a solid door, they don't charge you that. If you get a door with the window, they charge that as like you having, extra money for that special door. So I basically got 8 windows in that shed. That's an extra $800 plus tax added on to that shed on top of the price of the shed. So if you go purchase one of these sheds, say is around $8,000 or so, okay, now tack on a whole nother $1,000 just for for 8 windows. You just tacked on unnecessary money that could either help you either pay the shed off or buy the shed outright or add square footage. I'm just giving y'all some game that I'm going through myself, okay? I wish I would have had more square footage because windows are a dime a dozen. You can find them anywhere. All right. Do I got any questions about that right there? Because that's what I'm seeing right now. And if you have them run the electrical for you, I forget how much more that was. For every socket, every 12-volt plug that they put in, they charge for every outlet that they put in. They charge you for the breaker box, all of that. Each light that you have put in the ceiling, every single thing you getting charged for and you don't even realize it. And there you go, you just blew a whole nother $1,000 on something you could have simply done yourself for probably 200 bucks. A breaker box only costs you about $20, $30. To go buy the breakers to go in, it costs you about $10. And then to run the doggone the wiring, that'll cost you just say 100 bucks. You could have did all this yourself, and it's simple. When you start from the ground up, that part is easy. I ain't saying rewiring no whole already existing home. I'm talking about you're wiring this up yourself. It's a lot easier when you're starting from scratch. Now, let me see. That's another one. Thank you for that, RWR. The porch. Build your own porch. Take that porch and use that as a living space. That was a priority for my daughter and it was for myself. But looking in retrospect, build your own porch after this is after you. I could have spent that porch could have been extra square footage for living space instead of, even though your porch is fairly living space, reality is not. Okay, you got to come in the house. So I would have focused solely on living space square footage versus amenities like windows, porches, electrical. I would have. That's what I would have done. But hindsight, I'm going to talk about one of your main. And remember, I need to put this into perspective. We're talking about totally off grid, totally off grid. So I want to put that perspective in your head so you don't think I'm just flying off the handle. Two of your biggest costs is going to be heating and cooling and electrical. We're talking about totally off grid. We're not talking about hooking up to the grid. We're talking about self-sufficiency. I want to make sure I get that clear because thank you, Unbiased. Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you. I want to get that out there so people don't get it confused that I'm trying to make this into a real house or anything like that, okay? Solar. Your solar is going to cost you. Invest in as much solar and wind power as you possibly can. Invest in as much power storage as you can, like your batteries or your solar power generator that can hold as much watt hours as you can. And invest in as many solar panels as you can. Every time you catch solar panels on sale, purchase as many solar panels as you can, okay? That is a big chunk of your budget, and it's a necessity. Trust and believe me, once I show you, I'm going to give you a tour and fully show you exactly how my cabin is running. My workshop is running fully and solely off of just solar. I'm going to walk you through it piece by piece. I don't have to be there. My security is run off solar. My refrigeration and everything in that place, my lighting, my everything right now, there, I can click it on. I can watch everything around my entire land. It's all being run by solar power. Okay? That's a big chunk. Now, I want to get into heating and cooling. I'm running into a situation that I've never dealt with before, which is heating. Now, I've always heated up a tent. I've always heated up a small shed, doing it my way, kicking it out the window, kicking the chimney out the window in emergency. When you're talking about this isn't an emergency and you're doing it permanently, I'm going to make 2 requests for you. Purchase a wood stove. Don't waste your time with propane. Let your propane heaters, like buddy heaters and all that, be a secondary source of heat. Let your diesel heater be a secondary choice of heat. I'm gonna talk about diesel heaters too, because that's an option that I'm gonna throw out there. Buy you an efficient wood stove. You can purchase an old wood stove, a vintage wood stove. They are not efficient. When I say they're not efficient, most of your heat goes up that smokestack. Trust, I know because I got a bunch of them and I use them. Most of your heat goes out that smokestack. The only heat that's heating up your living space is the radiant heat that's heating up the metal of that wood stove. Whatever size wood stove that is, that's the only heat that you're getting. Whatever heat is radiating off of that, that's it. I'm going to say 60% of your heat, if not more, is going out the top of that smokestack, which you wish was in your living area. Newer Newer wood stoves are built with these baffles at the top where it circulates the heat and keeps all of that heat. Thank you, Tiny Purple Garden. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. So thanks for all you share. People need to hear this. I'm glad you're speaking on facts. People are going to wishful thinking. Thank you so much. Thank you. The newer wood stoves cost more, but trust and believe it's worth it. If you purchase a tiny home, some kind of way fit your wood stove into be a centerpiece, a part of the house. Make that some sort of important part of the house, because you don't want to go too small with a wood stove. You want that wood stove to have some overkill. You want to overdo it with your wood stove, your heating situation. Now, I'm down here in the South, and it got down to 26 degrees the other day. 26. And then the high for that day was like 54. So I ran all my heating units all day and all night. If you're wondering why I'm so big on wood stoves, because wood is free. If you purchase land, you can go outside on your land and find your heating source. You can find sticks, logs, fallen trees, chopping down trees, taking out branches. You can heat your home with the stuff you find around your land. That's why wood stoves are everything to me. That's free heat. So with free heat, no matter how much you pay for your wood stove, it's going to pay for itself in the first year. In the first year that you use your wood stove, I don't care how much you pay for it, it's going to pay for itself in heating costs. If you're only using propane or let's say electrical heaters, they're going to drain your pockets dry. And remember, the reason for this tiny home, right, is we supposed to be downsizing, minimizing, saving money. That's where we got to put ourselves back into reality, into perspective of why are we doing this? Because it's easy to fall off the trail of, why did I buy a tiny home? Why am I out here on this land? The real bottom line is you're trying to minimize so you can try to get a hand up on this system. Okay? This crooked system, I'm going to add that. I'm going to add this. If you're adding a wood stove, the chimney costs about as much as the wood stove. It ain't what you think. This ain't like you purchasing, like you see somebody with one of them little shacks and you see the little black heating chimney coming out the top, like you see one of my camps or my tents. That ain't it. That ain't it. You can't do it. Number one, it's not efficient. Number two, you might burn something down when you running this thing through the wall. You actually have to have this thing called a through the wall stovepipe thimble. Unbiased say, do the tiny homes come with insulation? Insulation? No, you got to insulate it yourself. Now, if you're talking about installation, they'll deliver it for free. But when you talk about insulation, you got to insulate it yourself and drywall it yourself. I think installation, you meant unbiased. Installation usually is free. They'll drop it off at your spot for free. Let me see. So yeah, the real chimney pipe going through the wall, you have to buy that piece. And I watched a few people on YouTube because I was trying to rig it. I was trying to save money and rig it. Insulation. Yeah, nope. You got to insulate it yourself. Excuse me. You got to insulate it yourself, unbiased. My son-in-law did that, thank God, because that's my kryptonite. I don't know how I'm going to get that ceiling done. So that smokestack going through the wall, you'll burn your whole place up while you're trying to get some sleep. It'll be burning inside the wall. You won't even know it. The smoke will be blowing through the cracks on the outside, so you won't even know your shed is on fire if you try to half-ass rig something. Seen this dude on YouTube. He was doing some rigging. He had to hurry up and knock that piece up out of that doggone wall before he set himself on fire. And that's what made me stop looking at ways to rig this pipe through this wall. Just stop it. You know, my wife would end up coming out to Freedom Makers just to, I ain't picking up the phone. She come out there and see a whole barbecued lead farmer. You know, he wasn't picking up his phone. I got to drive all the way over there to check on him. Ain't nothing left. Cinders. He smells delicious. He must have ate some smoked sausage before he burned himself up. Okay, Joseph says, lead, did you go foam or wool insulation? My son-in-law did this. He put up that Pink Panther fiberglass. Hold on. But I'm going to tell you something. While we talking about it, I got another one for you. Check this out. He did the Pink Panther insulation. The research that I've done, if it was me now that I know what I know, I wouldn't get the Pink Panther insulation. Guess what I would get? Rock wool. It's a couple more dollars. It's a little more expensive than the pink insulation. Why on God's green earth would I buy rock wool? I would buy rock wool insulation. The research that I've been doing, I will buy that. And this is part. Yep, soul sus, you on top of your game. Because, maybe you wasn't talking about. Rock wool is fireproof. Nope, sound. I will put it because it is good insulation, but sound. Here's the other part about if you purchase a shed and gonna make it a tiny home. If you're gonna purchase a shed, turn to a tiny home. Number one, go with a metal roof. It's cheaper, less maintenance. If you buy a shingle roof, you know you're going to have to keep jumping up there, replacing that. And shingles, roofing costs a lot of money. So you don't just buy shingles. You got to buy shingles. You got to buy plywood. You got to be up there in the sunlight. Buy a metal roof. Now, the drawback from a metal roof, if a leaf, and God is my witness, I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating. If a leaf falls on the roof of a metal roof in a shed, you're going to hear it and damn near know what kind of leaf and what tree it came from. Did y'all hear it raining on me the other day? And I had to start talking like this because the rain was so loud. Anything that touches that roof, you hear it. When a bird lands on the roof, we hear it. Me and the puppy, she go to barking. A squirrel jump on the roof and run across the roof. I almost pee on myself because it sounds like I be thinking a predator is out there with me. And she go to barking at the squirrel running across the roof. And the only way I know it was a squirrel because it jumped past my bedroom window, right? Rock wool. I'm going to put rock wool insulation up in that roof, and then I'm going to enclose that ceiling and fill it up with that rock wool. Because I don't want to hear nothing else up there. You can, let me, when the temperature is changing from it was 22 degrees last night, but it's about to be 60 degrees today when the sun come out. That metal roof start popping, bing, bong, pow, bang, bang, and start, opening up and stretching. Man, you think somebody is shooting at your house because the metal roof is expanding from the sun rays heating it up. It's no different than you pull a frozen glass out and then fill it with boiling hot water. It's about to explode, right? That ceiling, that roof be sounding like it's about to cave in on you. I'm just giving you the lowdown of what I'm going through, not what I think. I'm telling you what I be hearing since I've been sleeping in that thing, okay? That thing that had you reaching for your firearm in the morning. And it's just the opposite at night when it's getting cold. It was hot, and now that roof is cooling off, it's starting to contract, and all them noises gonna start coming. Everything. Rock wool for sound. Your walls on that shed, it ain't like a normal house. You have plywood on that outside. Them panels on the outside, I forget what kind of board that's called. It's plywood. I just cut through it the other day like, this is it. This is all. About 1/2-inch plywood. So people don't gotta knock on the door. I can hear a squirrel crunching through the woods. I can hear the deer walking around the shed. I can hear the raccoons and the damn armadillos walking around at night, the foxes. I can hear all that. And now when the rooster crow, it's like he on your shoulder like I'm a freaking pirate. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Like he's right here, mateys. It ain't like because now I'm right at the chicken coop, right? It's right there. And when he crow, I feel like Blackbeard the pirate. So, soundproof. Rock wool is way more soundproof than all of the other insulations. Go Google it and go YouTube it. And they got these soundproof setups. And I think sometimes they put that rock wool in like music booth, song booth, studios and stuff like that. Go look it up. And I said, that's worth paying the extra $2 per roll for. Because I'm sick of hearing all of these creatures. It's almost as bad as the tent, in the tent, they be scratching on the tent, rubbing up against the tent, and you can see their little bodies and stuff, because they can feel the warmth from inside the tent. All right. So I got one more thing, and then we're going to get into the comments. Diesel heater. A diesel heater may be the exception to the rule. A diesel heater is so powerful and doesn't use that much fuel. I tested it over and over and over again. On the medium setting with my diesel heater, it lasted, no, I ain't gonna say it lasted 13 hours. I had it running for 13 hours because it was cold at night, it was cold during the day. I had it running 13 hours on the medium setting and I cut it off. When I cut it off because I thought it should be time to go top up the fuel. When I went outside to top the fuel up, I still had a quarter of a tank. Just say I had about a quart left of fuel that would have took me another 4 hours, 5 hours to burn out. Diesel heater. When I have the diesel heater running on full blast, it'll last me from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It'll definitely I ain't gonna say that. I don't wanna lie. I definitely know for a fact it'll run me from 9 o'clock at night to 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Running it full blast, burning your eyebrows off. I mean that. So my thought was, and that's in a 336 square foot area. Okay, that's a 336 square foot area, and with the temperature at, I'm going to say that night it was 32 degrees. Okay, 32 degrees. It got us comfortable, and the temperature inside the cabin was 67 degrees, 66 degrees. With it being 32 degrees outside, 66 degrees inside, comfortable, blanket, house coat, pajamas, with the diesel heater running, it's a no-brainer. So my thought, if you're trying to heat and you can't pay for a wood stove first because they're expensive. A good wood stove and all the accessories to go to it to make it work efficiently, it's expensive. I'm going to say this. Get you 2 diesel heaters. One, my very favorite is that H-calorie or H-calorie or whatever they call it. HCALORY is my favorite because you can control it with your phone with the app. Get you 2 of those. And if you don't want to deal with that, because I think those now are like $189. If you don't want to deal with that, get 2 Vivors. They $99. Or get the Expeding Max. What is it called? Expeding Max. $89. They're all the same thing. They're from the same place. They just got a different stamp on them. Get you 2 of those. They'll run you out of there. The only reason diesel heaters, oh my God, I ain't got nothing bad to say about them. The only reason I would prefer a wood stove over a diesel heater is because I can heat my home for free and I don't got to depend and rely on anybody for diesel fuel. I don't have to go looking for diesel fuel. I can always just go in the woods or go out on the curb and get as many sticks and logs as I feel like. Other than that, if I didn't have that choice, diesel heater all day. There's no doubt about it. I don't care if I had to buy 3 of them to heat a house. I would. So, all right. With that being said, y'all, I made sure that was last because I wanted to make sure I said that. And prioritize. This is what you will have to do. Prioritize your construction plans and your projects. What's more important right now? I'm not doing that. That's causing me a problem. I'm not pushing my priorities. My priority should be the wood stove. Dark Owl says diesel depends on the infrastructure. Correct. My wood stove should be my priority, not my kitchen. My wood stove should be my priority, not my bathroom, not my bed, not my furniture, none of the stuff that I'm doing. My garden, my chickens, and my wood stoves are my first priorities. And I'm just dibbling and dabbling on each project as the weather or the situation permits. It's like I'm working, but I'm not fully getting everything done because if the weather is nice, I'm gonna go outside and start working on the garden or working with the chicken. If the weather is cold and is rainy, I'm gonna start working inside on the wood stove, on the kitchen, on the bedroom, on the bathroom. I had to tell myself, stop doing that and just focus on one thing and one thing only. Get that knocked out, no matter what. Now, I can see if you just can't be outside at all. I just don't want to be cold. I don't want to be out there shivering while I'm drilling and putting this smokestack together and all. I don't want to be out there. Matter of fact, I stopped doing it the other day. I was like, that's enough of that. I'm freezing. Came back in, start cleaning up, putting things in order, organizing. That's the other thing. Organization and storage. You buy this tiny house, you buy this shed, make sure you purchase the proper or the right organization tools that you need, like baskets, shelving, cabinets, under bed storage. One of the reasons I picked the bed that I picked was because it was 12 inches off the ground. I did that on purpose. It was other beds that I liked better, but they were like 6 inches off the ground or shorter. With 12 inches off the ground for my bed, why I picked it was because I could slip as many Rubbermaid tubs under there or milk crates under there as I see fit. As many that'll fit. That means me and my wife clothes can go under there, tools, accessories, things we need for different things inside of the place when we need them. And nobody will see them. Nobody will know anything. It'll be under the bed. You know, your clothes, your socks, your toothbrush, toothpaste, blah, blah, blah. So your shelving units, make sure you got a place to store everything. If you don't have storage, build it. This is the first thing people gonna want to do. Start hanging pictures on the wall. You see that big old clock I got? Now I'm sitting there like, that's a beautiful clock, but boy, I sure need that space for storage. Work on your shelving and cabinetry first for storage, and then start trying to decorate. Remember, we're trying to be efficient, minimize, and we're not trying to live like we're in a normal city anymore. And that's where we get carried away and we start wasting money. Hey, Resilient Dad, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. So with that, I wanted to make sure that is a priority, storage. And that's what I'm working on right now. Because now that I'm starting to organize, everybody saw how messy my place was under construction last week. It ain't like that no more. I spent one entire day inside organizing, cleaning, putting things where I think it's going to be or where it belongs. I got rid of certain things that I know. I got 3 end tables. You don't need 3 end tables in no tiny home. You don't need 2 end tables in no tiny home. Everything is going to get downsized. Right now, I was just working with what I had already. After that, things going to have to start getting peeled off. Because I don't want to be playing hot lava on the furniture. The furniture's so close. You know, you got a table here, a chair here, an ottoman there, a couch here. You jumping from, you can't even walk across the room, so you got to play hot lava on the furniture. I don't want that. I want it to be as spacious as possible. For one, for efficiency. For 2, in case of an emergency. If there is any kind of emergency, I don't want to have to go jumping over hurdles like OJ in the airport in the 70s trying to get up out of this place, right? If something happened, something go bad. I know that's beyond a lot of what y'all too young for that. I don't want to have to do that and go jumping over hurdles in the middle of the night because it's pitch black dark, so you can't see, trying to escape an emergency situation. Oh, you caught that, Quan? Showing your age. So, Dark Owl, what you just said, look, I got multi-purpose items right here. Multi-purpose items. Everything you have in there needs to have more than just one use. I know you caught it. It needs to, your sink, you know, your kitchen sink may end up being your washing basins. I know it's gross. I'm just hear me out, you know. Your stove ain't just for cooking no more. Your stove might be for sterilization. It could be used for a bunch of different things. So everything in your house, your furniture, your couch. Listen, my couch turns into a bed. I'm going to get a couch with an actual pull-out in it. Because this bed that turns into a bed, I pray for the man that got to sleep on it because this is rough. I'm going to get a pull-out. So your furniture need to be able to change into something that somebody can lay in or a multi-purpose surface, okay? My bed has storage underneath. So So everything, I have a little coffee table, small coffee table with, hold on, with storage underneath where I keep certain things underneath. Everything has to be, would you say chef said oven, store pots? I don't even have an oven. I just bought a stove top. Yeah, sleeper couch, Shamira. Let me see. Okay, I'm done because I keep, yeah, Murphy bed. Everybody keeps saying Murphy bed. Here's the problem why I never acknowledged the Murphy beds. Who just said that? Lynn Watson. You know why I never acknowledged the Murphy bed? Because the Murphy bed is nice inside of a normal house. When you're dealing with a 12 by 30 space, here's the problem with a Murphy bed. The Murphy bed is the one that pulls down, right? It ain't just that it uses wall space that could be being used for storage. I know people keep seeing these on these YouTube videos, but I'm going to keep it 100 factual, okay? You're using up wall space that could be used for shelving or cabinetry for storage. Number two is you still got to pull that bed down. Until you pull that bed down, what's taking up that area? Do you add more tables, storage? So every single night or every time you feel like you need to lay down, you got to move all this stuff out of the way and go put it on top of each other and something else just so you can pull this bed down to get some sleep. It's not efficient and it's not practical. Every time you pull this bed down, you got to move a bunch of stuff because you thought you were saving space. And in essence, you actually took space away from the walls, storage, and the space where the bed is going to sit. All you doing is just every day you got to move all this junk out the way and put it somewhere else just so you can lay down. And then replace it in the morning. But one factor still lies is you still can't put anything up on that wall. You can't store nothing on this wall because that's where the bed got to go back up to. And I've seen people keep talking about this Murphy bed, and I keep saying like, in a tiny home, it's not practical. I like Murphy beds. They're not practical. Now, I do have an alternative, which I almost got, but my wife don't like it. Hey, Roz, how you doing? I have an alternative to a Murphy bed. They have the I forget what they're called, where the mattress lifts up and it's on shock absorbers or springs, where the bed lifts up and the base of the bed is just a storage area so you can store stuff under it. Every RV has one of these type of beds. They actually have them for, in your house too. So you can lift this bed up, storage under here, and there you have it. My wife hates that bed. I love it. She hates it. This was her argument for that bed. Now, it's not a day bed. It's just like one in the RV where the whole mattress and this frame and the mattress lift up and you can put stuff under. She didn't like it because she said, number one, though the base of that type of bed has to be like screwed or drilled into the floor itself because that frame will shift. We had this situation in a couple RVs we had. That frame will shift if you don't bolt that down. So that means if you needed to scoot this over to make the bed or move it out the way because you dropped your wallet or you dropped your phone down there, it's gone. And the only way you're going to get anything you just dropped down in this crevice is you got to unscrew or undrill this thing from the floor or its foundation and start all over again. I almost bought that bed. Trust me, it was in my cart online. I was about to buy it until she made that good argument, because that's the argument we be having in the RV. Oh, and I'm messing around, drop my phone, drop my keys, drop my contacts. They gone. The only way we worry about that in the morning. you know, because that's a serious search party hunt. We got to put up missing posters for stuff. You drop it in the RV, it's gone. Okay. Okay. All right. Any questions at all? I know people been asking questions. I just wanted to get that out. I'm not even gonna look. I'm turning this list over. I'm not gonna dive back into my list. Any questions before we go? We've been in here an hour and a half. Trundle bed. If you have enough space. The thing about a trundle bed is you're using the space under the bed that could be used for storage as an extra bed. So it's a toss-up. If I had to deal with a trundle bed, I would rather get a bunk bed. That's why I was looking at bunk beds versus a trundle. Because yeah, you have more sleeping space, but you have less storage space. Your more sleeping space should be focused on just the people that live inside of this dwelling instead of guests. You know, trying to make your guests comfortable. They want to stay the night. You know, I play with that, but I couldn't justify it. Any questions before we go? Shamir said, I have a trundle bed in my daughter's room and it has 3 drawers. My son, when he was a little kid, used to have a trundle bed and I love them, but that's when you're in a normal house and you have plenty of square footage to play with. When you're dealing with, okay, here you go. A queen size bed, I think is like 62 or 64 inches wide, right? 80 inches long. If you have a space that's only 77 inches wide, you ain't even gonna pull the bed all the way out. And that's what I'm dealing with. Yeah, we just said the old school sleeper couch, sauceless. Are you using regular size fridge or the Bourgeois small fridge? As of a few days ago, I had the Bourgeois DC refrigerator, but I needed more refrigeration space, and I found an apartment size 7.5 or 7.8 cubic inch refrigerator that's almost as efficient as my Bourgeois DC refrigerator. When the compressor comes on this refrigerator, it's pulling 96 watts, and then it drops down to about 85 watts, and then it cuts off. So it's what I've been calculating is almost as efficient as my DC refrigerator so far. And I have way more space. Let me see. J. Brook, loft. If you have a loft in your shed or your tiny home, I know people don't like the way that barn style look with the loft. If I had to do it all over again, I would have got that. Because that's more space, more storage, or more sleeping space. So have you looked into thermal properties or rock wool? I know I've said this several times, but you can make a homemade forge. I'm not trying to forge anything. You mean forge like making a sword or something? Yeah, blacksmithing. The last thing on my mind, bro. The reason why we're doing this video today is because this is about reality, self-sufficiency, efficiency, minimizing. The last thing I'm thinking about is making a forge to do what? What am I making? I don't know your situation, but that is the furthest thing from my mind, is trying to make a sword or some horseshoes while I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to heat this plate. It's the last thing on my mind, man. I'm sorry. You know, you might have a different situation than me, but Last thing on my mind. Last thing on my mind. Thank you, JT Language. I appreciate it. Say, in which ways do you collect and use water there? The best way I can. Now I want to talk about okay, Tiny Purple, you got a good question. Said, Laird Farmer, people keep abandoning campers out here. Would you recommend picking up one of those until you can get a tiny house? No. No, I wouldn't. Nope. When you say abandoning, what do you mean? Because I need you to understand something. When it comes to an RV and a camper, it's still classified as a vehicle, meaning you still got to keep on paying the taxes and titles and everything on that every year. Also meaning that they just don't hold up on in this type of situation. They're not there. I don't care how much money you spend on a camper or RV, they're not insulated worth a damn. So trying to keep it cool and try to keep it hot is almost like you throwing money out the window when you got your heater on or your air conditioner on. Hold on one second. Oh, and one other thing too. Then you got to turn around and get said camper or RV, put in your name, the title. You just can't go grabbing because somebody abandoned a camper. You can't just go pick it up and just have it and it's yours. You got to go down to the county and say somebody abandoned this camper. That's what I had to do on my land. Somebody abandoned this camper on my land or in this space, and I want it. Ain't nobody claimed it in 2 years, and now I want to claim ownership of it. You got to do the paperwork for it, and then that's when they say, okay, it's yours to do it as you please. But now this headache and this burden is in your name, and you don't know why they abandoned it. You don't know what did it have black mold in it? Why did they abandon this whole house or this camper or RV? You gotta ask yourself that. Did it have gas or fuel leaks, propane leaks? Is it black mold in here? Is it infested with something? They abandoned it for a reason. Right. People just don't usually abandon places like that. There's a reason. Everybody kept saying, Laird, why don't you move in that one place on your land? No. No. Everything going on in there. I thought about it. I had a second thought on it. Then I went in there one day like, nah. Jana says, we have an RV we paid in full, and the problem we having now is not properly insulated, not properly installed, and we in Colorado. It's minus 5 degrees at night. We have the heat on and a kerosene heater on. See? See? That right there. Here's another problem with putting a camper or RV on your land. I'm only speaking from experience because I thought that it was a good idea. It's not. Your tires gonna go bad sitting in one spot and the sun burning them down every day. Animals are gonna start nibbling on the wiring under your engine and in your hood and all the stuff that run everything inside. Animals are gonna start living in all the crevices of your RV or your camper. Yellow jackets, wasps, birds, squirrels, all that rats start moving into that because they look at it as a big, pretty, shiny tree. And that's one of the problems I got. That's why my RV is still in the spot that it's in, because I got to get it out and clean it out. And I'm not looking forward to that. And I'm scared about the tires. The tires were brand spanking new, but if you leave RV tires with that much weight sitting in one space, not on concrete, it's not going to be a good thing. They need to be replaced no matter what. When I sell that RV, I'm definitely going to tell everybody, whoever buy it, please put new tires on it right now. I'm putting that included in the price because the tires need to be changed. They've been sitting for 2 years. Are you close to setting up your huge water filter system? What huge water filter system? I'm going to tell y'all this. One last plan. I'm looking for questions too, just in case. So we have a straw bale underneath and put up wall. Okay. Have you started on your bio water filter yet, Woman V? Have you started on yours yet? I came up with a solution. I'm going to share this with y'all. I don't think I shared this with y'all yet. I found another way to get more livestock. Legal, cool, no problem, no code breaking. Get this. Fish. Homeschool did it with my children for science. Oh, that's wonderful. Fish. Until I get my pond put in, I'm going to try what I've been studying this for years now, and I really want to try it. Really, really, really. Put a lot of effort in it. You know those 300-gallon totes? I want to try raising tilapia in mine. That's why I haven't filled that tote with water. Only water I have is in my 55-gallon, not aquaponics. Not aquaponics. Just raising tilapia. I'm not going to write that aquaponics off, but that's not my goal. My goal is just to raise the tilapia and make sure the water is filtered and at the right pH level to raise as many tilapia as I can in the two 300-gallon totes that I have. If you can eat, y'all know how big a tilapia is, right? You see them in the store with the head still on them. One tilapia can feed 2 people, 2 greedy people too. You can raise almost 80 tilapia in a 300-gallon tank, and each one of them will be well over a pound a piece. And be perfectly fine and alive. What about spray foam insulation? Not can. I wouldn't put spray foam up. I've seen people do it, and each and every last person that do spray foam wish they never did it. That's the only reason I wouldn't do it. I'm going to start raising my own fish in these drums. I'm gonna try. I've never done it before. I had them in a 55-gallon drum out here. Lady Leia was catching catfish back here. Remember that? And we were putting them in that drum. That worked. Right. So yes, and tilapia is one of the oldest fish. Yes, it is. Technically, yes. So I know those catfish in that doggone 55-gallon drum lasted for months. Okay, I can tell you that worked. Did you put skirts around a cabin? Not yet, but I'm about to. For wind and animals. So yeah, I really want to try this process, because if you got, look, this is the reason I'm telling y'all all this. I know this video long, but the reason I'm telling y'all all of this is because, again, I don't know when I don't know. They're already making the rules and the regulations for the new administration to come in, and every new law and every new rule for anybody that's like me. This is not the new world that you want to be living in, and you don't got things in order. If you're the average Joe, working guy, working sister, and you barely making ends meet, the new administration that we're going into and this new system of government that we're going into, this ain't for you. I don't care who you voted for. That ain't none of my business. I don't even care. You know good and well you're in trouble though. And the only reason I'm kicking this game is because all the people that love what they voted for, whatever, whether you did or you didn't, I bet your ass gonna be wondering, you're gonna be rewatching this video. It don't matter who you vote for. Go ahead, root for your team. You're gonna be rewatching this video though for some game. Okay? So the reason I'm saying all of this is get you some chickens. What's today? What's today? Saturday, right? Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm going to get 6 more chickens, 6 more hens. I came up with a plan. Listen to me. Just in case you wonder how this works. I'm going to have chickens. I'm going to have fish until my pond is built. And I'm going to have bees. So that means I'm going to have eggs and meat. I'm going to have fish for meat. And I'm going to have honey. What else you need? I'm going to have a garden for my vegetation. What else you need? What else do you need? Now, the setup that I'm building right now is going to work like this. I'm gonna have these already dumb birds that I'm about to purchase, the big birds, already pumping out eggs right now. Then come spring, Lord forbid that something go bad enough where I can't purchase no new birds, no chicks. If I can purchase some new chicks, I am. If I can't, I'm going to raise my own because that's why I got that one rooster. I'm going to have that rooster, fertilize all these hens, and I'm going to raise my own new flock of chickens myself. The old birds going to go in one cage. The new birds just being hatched out going to go in another cage. And I'm going to do something I've never done before. The night way say, blessing Mr. Led, and any particular fish you plan on having in your pond. I just said it nice way. Made me lose my train. Oh, I've never dealt with this before. But I'm going to get meat birds this year. If I can get my hands on some meat birds, I didn't used to think that was, I just wasn't my thing. I don't look forward to putting things in the freezer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now I'm going to be honest with you. Putting things to sleep, eternal rest, is not, I don't look forward to that. Even if I'm hungry, I don't look forward to that. That's not something I get into. I hunt, but I don't hunt for sport. I hunt if I have to. And it's with all the food around, it's rare that you have to. I hunt for pest situations and I hunt for food. Fishing is another form of hunting. So if I can just go pick this up for little or nothing at the store, okay, you do what you got to do. Vanessa, you say we're not supposed to eat frogs. You will though. You will though, sister. I'm not going to get into that, but you will. Right now, and I'm going to veer onto this and I'm going to veer right back off in it. Don't say what you won't do right now. Everybody, don't say what you won't eat. Everybody, this goes for everybody. Anybody listening to my voice right now, don't go to saying what you will and what you won't eat and why. Don't. I'm going to tell you how I know, and it's 100% pure factual. The only people that can say what they will and what they won't eat is people with money in their pocket. When you get hungry, hey, listen, everything is on the menu. How can I prove this? How can I prove it? I'm going to tell you how I can prove myself right. When you go to any grocery store of your choice, whatever grocery store you shop at, tell me I'm right when I ain't now, or tell me I'm wrong when I ain't. Now listen to this. Any grocery store you go to right now, you know what you got in common with every single person back in the meat department? You know what you got in common with every person in the produce section? All of y'all looking at this food dumb as hell. You came for a pot roast. You looking at that price though. Everybody keep touching the meat, and everybody keep touching the meat, and everybody keep putting it down. Ain't nobody putting nothing in their cart. Have you noticed this? It's been going on for a while too. It's been going on for a long time. Everybody just standing there at the meat counter like this. Y'all even start looking at each other, don't you? Like, back in the day, you used to be like, "Excuse me, let me grab this rack of ribs real quick. Excuse me, I'm sorry you're looking. I'm sorry." Ain't nobody excusing you no more. Ain't nobody asking you to step out the way so they can grab this steak that's on sale, or these pork chops, or this chicken leg. Everybody at the meat counter is looking down again. Slack jawed in the mug, ain't you? Look. All of us, we don't know each other from a hole in a sock. We all from different backgrounds, races, and creeds. But in that one moment, back in the meat department, we all became brothers and sisters, didn't we? We were unified, and we was in total agreement with this is some bullshit. I don't care who you voted for. When we all standing in front of this meat counter, we like, this some bullshit, huh? God dang right it is. He could have on a red hat with them words on it. Me and him, at that moment, I could have that blue shirt with the Lady Wonder Woman on it. He got on that red hat. But we both agree on one thing. This some bullshit. God dang. I don't like who you voted for. You don't like who I voted for. We don't agree on the same thing. But I tell you one thing. This price, we leave each other like, you're right, brother. Damn right we right. You go to the produce section, you went in there because you trying to be on a health kick and lose a little weight, so you think you about to go get a couple heads of lettuce for the week. Next thing you know, you looking at the price ahead of one head of lettuce that used to cost damn 53 cents. You looking at this $3 head of lettuce like, you pull out your phone, Lead Farmer 73. Lettuce. Back porch garden. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm about to go save our seeds. I'm about to go drop some damn seeds because I'll be perfectly damned if I pay that for a head of lettuce. Because that lettuce gonna be gone in 2 days. You think you about to go out and be eating some taco salads? Shit, your taco ain't gonna have no salad or no meat. You gonna have an Akko salad. Ain't gonna be nothing in it. But the sauce, you might as well just drink a bottle of taco sauce. Mild. Because you can't afford the meat. You can't afford the damn lettuce and tomato to go in it. Am I lying? Okay. The reason I'm doing this video is because I be in the stores looking at the meat counter like damn, what's his name? Oliver Twist. Please, sir, more. Please, I beg of you. More, sir, please. Okay. Here's the funny part. People with their pinky out got on big old giant solitaire diamond rings with the wedding band on every finger, and she got on this smell good perfume, this expensive suit, and this Gucci purse. She looking at this meat too like, make her tighten her wig up a little bit. Yeah. You had a choice to either buy that purse or buy this pack of chicken wings. A pack of chicken wings cost the same price as a damn ribeye steak now. Come on now, I ain't lying. Y'all know it's real. It's just as much meat in each pack. If you buy one good sized ribeye steak, it costs around, say, $18 to $23. The same price as a long pack of chicken wings. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? You bet not go in there. How about now they even made the chicken thighs high. Chicken thighs cost more than the breasts. What in all of the hell? Chicken thigh meat costs more than the breast. Besides the chicken neck and the gizzard, the thigh was the cheapest piece. How is the thigh more money than the leg and the wing? Every time we do something, right? Every time we got to figure something out, let me hard. Every time. Let me tell y'all something. Stop sharing your damn recipes and your lunch with your person at work, your coworker. Stop that shit. Y'all ruining it for everybody. You know what you do. Wow, hey. Jerome. Wow, that smells good. What is that? Oh yeah, my old lady just hooked up some of these damn chicken thighs. Boy, she like shredded the chicken thigh. You know how I like pulled pork? I don't eat pork, assalamu alaikum. I don't eat pork. So she pulled the chicken for me in the same way. And she got this pulled chicken thigh meat chicken sandwich for me, boy. Hit that real quick. Well, I'll take a little piece. Oh my God. Oh, my and your God. That's good. You say your old lady, you have a recipe? I had that for you in the morning. I asked her for you. But thanks, Jim. Thanks, man. You give Jim your wife recipe. And all of a sudden, Jim don't come back to work. Like, y'all seen Jim? Yeah, man, I heard he quit. He quit. Jim been here for like 18 years. He wouldn't quit. Is he sick? You've been trying to call Jim and everything. Jim ain't answering the phone. Y'all buddies now. Y'all have beer after work and everything. Jim ain't picking up the phone no more. You drive past Jim's house, it's a for sale sign in the lawn, and the windows is naked. Ain't no curtains on that boy. Damn, what happened to him? Did he die? Next thing you know, you out and you taking your girl out on the town one day. You like, I'm gonna take you out to get, it's a new restaurant done popped up down the street. It's called Jim and Them's Chicken and Waffles. Jim and Them Chicken and Waffles. You take your old lady to Jim and Them's Chicken and Waffles to order her damn recipe. That Jim is now a millionaire making millions of dollars off of her damn recipe and her chicken. It done drove the price of chicken thighs through the damn roof. So the average poor ass working man can't even afford a chicken thigh. And Jim sitting there, oh, hello. Can I serve you today? Oh, hey, it's good to see you. Hey, it's so good to see. Oh my God. Wow, brother, it's been a long time. You like, brother? And where you go? Yeah, remember that sandwich that you shared with me? I took some of that to the lab and had them analyze and remember the recipe just so they could back. Wow, it really worked out for me. You guys are awesome. Is this the lady's recipe? I want to thank you. What? What you mean you want to thank me? Stop sharing your recipe with every dumb dang gone body. Patent your junks first, then share it. Patent your recipes first, then share it. So every time you taste this flavor and sandwich, get paid. Stop being so damn proud of your mama's special sauce. Stop being so proud of your grandmama's secret recipe of 17 herbs and spices. You think the Colonel came up with 17 herbs and spices? He ain't come up with nothing. It's my own secret recipe. 17 herbs and spices, baby. Shut up. No, you didn't. He was probably somewhere getting his car worked on. And Jerome was in there. And the Colonel, oh my God, what the hell is that smell, baby? Oh, you smelling Jerome chicken that his mama made for him. You don't say. What's all in this? 17 herbs and spices. You don't say, huh? Go look at the history of McDonald's. Go look at the history in the documentary on McDonald's, and go look at the history in the documentary on Facebook. They do it all the time. All the time. So, exactly what herbs and spices, baby? Well, she used like a little sage, a little thyme, some rosemary, you gurus, shut up. Shut up. This ain't supposed to be KFC. The KFC is supposed to stand for Kevin and Them's Chicken. Kevin and Them's. Not Colonel's. Kevin and Them's Chicken. That's what this is supposed to be called. Kevin and Them's. 17 herbs and spices. Done our way, baby. Now look. Driving up the price of chicken thigh. I promise you this. You gonna eat what they give you. These days, oxtails. Oxtails are the equivalent of filet mignon. Beef tenderloin. Am I lying? Look at the price of 2 fillets, £1 a piece, versus oxtails, £1 a piece. Oxtails just got more flavor. That's the only difference, because the show the hell ain't the price. Right? Y'all know good. Shut up. People be like, hey, Led, damn. I remember when I made that Meyer lemon meringue pie back in the day. Everybody's, Led, how did you make that lemon meringue pie you call it? What's all in there? Lemons and meringue. It was thousands of people asking me what was in that lemon pie. It was called a Meyer lemon meringue pie. So what's all in it, Led? Lemons and meringue. What is meringue? Go Google it. Go Google it. That's the whole recipe. I ain't telling you, fool. That's written down in some secret recipe book I got that my daughter owns now. You'll never see it. I don't want to come into the restaurant and the waiter be like, was it good to your liking? Oh, that was good, waiter. Would you like dessert? We have a delicious pie on the menu tonight. You'll love it. House menu. I tell you what, on the house, I'll bring you out. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. You look at your wife like, beautiful. I love this place. Look at the decor. And then that waiter bring you out 2 slices of lemon meringue pie. And you look at that like, what's this? Oh, that's our house special. It's only made once a year. Lemon meringue pie. You want to tear the club up after you see your invention. Your millions of dollars that you ain't going to ever see in your face. And he wants you to eat it. Okay? Go on, taste it. Man, if you don't get away from my table, I'm going to make you taste this pie, but not with your mouth. I'm going to put this pie inside your body some other kind of way besides your mouth. So I appreciate if you leave us right now. Sir, before I start acting a fool in this beautiful establishment, I am going to some kind of way fuse this pie into your molecular structure if you don't move. I don't think you want to know what's going through my head. If you keep standing there, you're going to find it out. I'm telling you. May I take your menu then? Man, move, man. Move. The world that's coming up right now, stop telling people all your secrets. Stop telling people all your recipes. Stop telling folks what you is and what you ain't gonna eat. You're gonna find yourself to be a whole liar when you go, I only eat chicken. I know people's different faiths and religion. They don't eat pork, and they don't eat several different kinds of things, shellfish, certain kind of meats with different kind of hooves and stuff. I know what the words say. What's that saying? The spirit is strong, but the flesh is gonna be weak. Watch. Once you gonna smell the smell of somebody grilling some scrimps next door, and you can't afford nothing. You know what? I got a feeling in the next coming year, 1 year, I ain't gonna go all the way. In the next coming year, the price and the stock price of chicken and beef, bouillon is gonna go up. Y'all thought I was gonna say chicken and beef. Because all you're gonna be able to afford is chicken bouillon soup and chicken beef. You're gonna be dropping bouillon cubes in water to fill yourself up because price is gonna be so stupid. Ask me how I know. Excuse me. Listen, you see this sniffle and the snotting? I've been drinking chicken bouillon for 2 days. I don't need no noodles. Can't afford the noodles. Yep, people talk about they don't eat chitlins. You will. You won't just start eating chitlins. You're going to learn how to clean them. You're going to learn how to prepare them. And you're going to learn how to make them taste like filet mignon. They already got serving chitlins in restaurants. It's over with. That's why you don't see that many damn red buckets in the frozen case anymore. I remember them red buckets used to be spilling over the top in them frozen cases. Not no more. Not no more. You got to go looking for chitlins now. You just can't just go get none. You got to go find them. And then not just find them, be like, oh, don't get them. Everybody be, don't get them right there. Stay away from them. Them is just guts. Them ain't no good. Them is just, yeah, you gonna have more thrown away than you gonna have cooked. Don't get that brand. We're at that point right now. Okay. So I ain't gonna stay on here. Yes, bouillon. Listen, my bouillon sitting in there. You know what I just did? Lord is my witness. I just bought a 7-pound bucket of chicken bouillon. 7 pound. You know how much that is? 7-pound bucket of bouillon. Chicken bouillon, shelf-stable bouillon. Why? Because I can go out here and get some of these vegetables out of the garden and then drop them in some water, get them boiling, some of these cabbages and stuff like that, drop them in this water and throw a little spoonful of bouillon in that boy. Tastes like you eating chicken and cabbage without the chicken. Things about to get so tight. I don't think a lot of us have ever seen what's about to happen. I don't think there's a lot of people right now have never seen what's about to happen. Jabari, nope, I won't ever eat swine. I wish I knew you in person. I wish I knew you in person. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. You will. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Unless you, Hannah said those red buckets are $25, $30 a bucket now. I haven't seen them buckets since they was like $2 a bucket. Everybody, buy you some chickens of your own. Buy you a kennel. Jabari said it simply comes down to how strong you are of faith. No, it ain't. You'll see. I hope you don't see, Jabari. I hope you don't see. I hope you are right. But I'm going to tell you this, Jabari. You've never been hungry. Even people in the Bible had to sin because they just couldn't handle it. With stronger faith than all of us. Am I wrong? You've never been hungry to the point of you got to beg the Lord to forgive you for what you're about to do. You've never been hungry. I'm telling you. You say, do they know what's coming? And it ain't my place to tell them. But they will. Everybody is going to know. In this next coming, I'm gonna give it a month, 2 months. You're gonna know. Everybody keep asking me, Led, why you keep saying 2 months? Why you keep saying 3 weeks? You, what's the song by, what's the name? Tevin Campbell? You will know. You'll know. You'll know. You will know. If you don't know, you're about to know. And I'm not telling nobody if you don't know what's coming now. Listen to me. It don't matter again who you voted for. They telling you out their mouth. Listen, if you voted for that red team, your own team is telling you things about to be horrible, whether you voted for them or not. And they saying it, not me. So this ain't a political debate. If you voted for the red team, they are literally telling you out of their mouths. They're not just telling the blue team, but they're telling their own folks, you about to hit times that you could never imagine. They're saying it out of their mouths to you. And a lot of people are disappointed, like, you said you wouldn't do this. Yeah, we know. We lied. And everybody is okay with that. That's killing me. Like, yo. She said she black. She ain't black. She ain't black. She lying. She ain't black. Okay, let's just say she lied. They're telling you right now they lied. Right now in your face. You said prices wasn't going to go up. Yeah, I said that. We know what we said. That's not what we meant, though. What we said and what we meant is two entirely different things. This is politics, baby. 17 lies and spices. You about to get served. So, again, this is not a political debate at all because I don't care anymore. I don't care. What I only care about is you better get ready. You better get ready. That's all I can say. And everybody keeps saying, my HOA says we can't have chickens. You let your HOA tell you you can't eat. You letting your HOA dictate whether your family gonna starve or not. Just so they can say we're the most pristine neighborhood in the city and we've won several awards. Man, I will tear the lawn up in this mother. I will remove the lawn. If y'all don't let me do, I will remove the, I will come out here with a jackhammer and bust the sidewalk in the street up, son. Tell me I can't have no chickens and no garden in the HOA. You know what HOA stand for? Sound it out. Hoe ass. Hoe ass HOA. They telling you what they is right there. We a bunch of hoe asses. HOA. And they telling you how they gonna be acting. You know you can't, that's how they act. You know you can't be planting peach trees out in the front yard. You can only do that in a 4-foot space in the backyard by your gate. Hoe ass. I moved in this hoe ass neighborhood. HOA. They telling you what they telling you how they gonna act before you sign your doggone contract to move in this joint. They're gonna be acting like a bunch of hoe asses. Yes, I noticed you planted some roses. They're beautiful, by the way, but you know you can't plant roses, not pink roses. You can only plant red roses. I hate to tell ya, but you know, you're gonna remove them though, right? Hoe ass. I was just on a jog and I walked by and saw that you had pink roses, but you can't have them. Section 890B says, yeah, hoe ass. HOA. I'm sorry. Not me, man. It couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Y'all better figure out, everybody better figure something out real quick. Because it's coming down to the wire, son. It's coming down to the wire. Telling you, I've been working so hard trying to get myself together because I know in a minute, I feel as though I'm going to have to defend my garden, what I've been saying for years. I think it's really going to happen. I think them times is really about to hit where I have to say, get off of my goddamn land. You know what I'm saying? I got a feeling those words are going to come out of my mouth in a non-joking manner. You get up off my goddamn land or I'll pepper you good. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. If you leave up off this land, I got a feeling you gonna have to start coming out on your porch again. Who is that? Get the hell out of here, you're trespassing. I got a feeling. Please, sir, we're so hungry. Get off my goddamn land. We're so hungry, you got so much. You gonna get so much if you don't get off my land. You hungry? You hungry cause, check. I'm about to fill you up. I hope you like lead. It's my grandma's favorite recipe. Damn it, I'm gonna serve it hot. If you don't get off my goddamn land. I'm going to serve this lead piping hot. I hope you like it hot. Because we don't serve it cold here, boy. Warm your ass up. I got a feeling. You're going to have to start threatening people. Dad, they in the tomatoes. Check. Get my broomstick. I see you out there. Get off my goddamn tomatoes. I got a feeling. Sir, we're so hungry. We just want one tomato. You hungry? I'll fill you up. I got all the lead you can eat. I got a goddamn buffet of lead. All you can eat. One low price. I got a feeling. People keep saying what they will and what they won't eat and what they will and what they won't do. I'm going to tell you another way, factually, how I know everybody's full of shit. I'm going to tell you how. See, let me break this down. This calm era is what I'm going to call it, because it was always hatred, it was always racism, it was always division. But this has been a calm era from the late 70s all the way up into the early mid 2000s, right? It's been a calm before the storm. The way I can prove to you that I'm right about bad times is because your mother and your grandmother and your father and your uncle got stories that they ain't never told you because they were too ashamed to tell you about how they paid the rent and how y'all got food in your bellies at night when they were firm believers in Christ and the word of God. They were firm believers, but your mama, your aunt, some of your sisters, your daddy, your crooked ass uncle, all had to do things so you can keep a roof over these kids' head and you can keep some food in these kids' bellies. They got stories in the back of their mind that they'll never utter to you because they don't ever want to have to tell you how shameful and the things that they did to keep your spoiled ass fed. Unfortunately, some of our parents, grandparents, elders, mamas, daddies, aunts, and uncles didn't mind sharing the stories of the things they had to do and the things that they had to, the shameful things that they had to accomplish so they could look out for you. So they told some of us these stories that we'll never repeat to other people because we're too ashamed for our parents and elders. Everybody keep thinking that, oh, it's all about faith. It's all about this. It's all about that. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. Until your kid looking in your face and tell you how hungry they is, and you know your kid ain't ate in about 2 or 3 days, and you also know it's a pink slip on the front of your apartment door. You know it. You got options. Like our mamas and our daddies and our uncles and our aunts and our grandparents had options. Either you're going to let your children perish and then yourself, or Mr. Willie going to come like, hey, you know, I told you if you ain't got that rent by Thursday, now I'm going to have to put you out. I don't want to do this to you and them badass kids of yours, but y'all got to go. Now, either you going to give me my $700 now. I ain't trying to hear nothing else. Now, I done heard you for the last 3 weeks. Now, I done heard enough. Now, either you got my money today, you and them badass kids, or y'all got to go. Okay, I got other people need to see this place. And what you don't know is your mama or your granny or your aunt said, hey, y'all babies, don't do this in front of my kids. Y'all go off in the back room and play. Don't come out. Y'all stay back there. That's right. Take your brother with you. Y'all keep your brother. Watch your brother. Don't let him come out. Lock that door. Now, Mr. Willie, what was you saying? Well, you know, I was talking about that rent. You know you owe me about $700 worth. I mean, either you pay up, you got to pay something. You know, I ain't made out of money. You got to do something now. Why don't you come on in, Mr. Willie, and get some of this coffee? Thought you can't afford no coffee, Mr. Willie. You need to come on in the house now. You ain't going to hear that story, though. Because your mom and your grandma are too ashamed to tell you about it. She don't want to tell you how she paid for 3 months worth of rent. And your daddy and your uncle don't want to tell you why they was always gone. We always blaming our daddies for not being there all the time. But what you don't understand is sometimes your daddy can't be there for the best interest of you. Because he out there in the streets hustling. You don't get a chance to see your daddy. It's one or the other. He can let his child perish, or you got to be out in these streets risking his life and limb and his freedom to make sure you got some food and a roof over your head. Sometimes and most of the time you can't always have it your way. A lot of these spoiled ass kids, like my daddy was never there. Your daddy was at work 16 hours a day. Your mama couldn't handle that, so she didn't want to be bothered with him, but he still kept some money coming in the house. Your daddy wasn't there because your mama didn't want him there because he was trying to work and he was working too damn much. And no time to spend with her. Get the whole story before you start pointing fingers. So for the people to keep saying what you will and what you won't do, stop that shit, because our parents, I'm only 50-something years old. I'm old enough to remember all of those stories. So in the last 30 years, we done seen it. Excuse me. These stories have been told us in the last 20, 30 years. What'd you say? Is it just for you or more than just you? I don't know what that means. Most women got children. Most women don't want to see anything happen to their children. And most women don't want to do none of the stuff that is being asked of them ever. Some of these, what we call, and we got to give it to them, some we call them hoochies and skeezers and skanks. Maybe my wording is a little dated, but you know what I'm saying. Sir twerk-a-lots and stuff. We don't like that lifestyle. Some of us don't, but you don't know what these women have to do sometimes to get by. You know? And we keep blaming it on each other and our upbringing, but sometimes you got to blame it on this system. When we pointing the finger, we point it at the boyfriend or the husband or the wife or the girlfriend. We keep pointing the finger back and forth, but nobody ever pointed to the system. Ever. So I ain't going to keep on with that because I'm about to go down a dark alley with that one. I don't want to. I'm going to say this. Before I go, I don't want to get in this subject because doggone it, we'll be here for another 3 hours. Want to know another reason I know dark times are coming? Give me a second here. Another way I know dark times is coming. What's them things flying around in the sky, man? Why don't the Pentagon know what them things is flying around all these cities? Flying around the Carolinas, flying around Pennsylvania, flying around New York, flying around Philadelphia, flying around Orlando. Listen, our government, if you don't know, is one of the most strategic, tactical. They can see me right now if they want to. They can read the label on the back of my shirt inside the shirt, and I got it on. They can read it. But they be just a few thousand feet, few hundred yards away from these things, and it be 10 and 12 of them at a time, and they keep saying, we're not sure what that is. We're getting down to the bottom of it. Getting down to the bottom of it with a bunch of glowing balls over military bases. You're getting to the bottom of it, but they can fully confirm that it is not a threat to our government, to our nation, to our, come on now, they're saying is not a foreign entity. No country is involved, but we're not quite sure what these things are. One military general say they're not picking up any electrical signals from these things. Have you noticed that they keep calling them drones? Stop calling them drones because they don't want to freak people out. Because if you call them something else, people going to freak out. People are already freaking out, right? People already freaking out. So they're trying to, what I tell you, I hate people when they play with words. I hate when people play with words. So they turn something that's literally horrifying into the word drones to make it sound more, somebody said chariots. They turn the word into drones. When you hear the word drones, your brain think that's something I'm gonna buy my kid for the holiday. That's something my son wants for his birthday, a drone. That softened the blow to your brain. You don't know what the hell that is. And all these men with all these stripes on all their jackets and all their arms is saying, we're not quite sure. We have the highest people working on it as we speak. One dude go up in a helicopter. Right, drones the size of a damn school bus. One dude is in a helicopter. He turn around and come home. They said, why did you turn around and come home? You had them in your sight. Yeah, I was scared they might crash into me. Your job as a fighter pilot is to stay there, observe, and recon. And if we tell you to follow it, you follow it. Here's another thing. These things are staying in the sky, are able to stay in the sky longer than any fighter jet, longer than any helicopter. What can use that much fuel and still stay in the sky? And then when they try to follow them, they can leave your ass. You mean some of these Apache helicopters can't catch these so-called toys? We got radar, radio signals, and every infrared, and you mean to tell me you don't know? That's how I know. And somebody said distractions, right? Somebody just said those are distractions. Distractions from what? We already, the poop is on the boot. You're not distracting the nation from anything. This isn't trickery anymore. We see we all about to get humped with no oil. And distractions from what? Solar powered at night. Think about this now. I don't like talking about this kind of stuff because I don't want to go down conspiracy theory alley. Y'all know how I get. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I like to dip my toe down in the alley every blue moon. Okay, I like to hang out with the corner bums. The only way to have some fun. I go down in the alley every blue moon down conspiracy theory alley. Hang out with the corner bum. And this is one that's just ringing my bell because I'm like, look. They told us about a month ago, it's some things living in the ocean. And they keep coming out the water and flying around the neighborhood. These people got video footage. Listen, thousands of people got video footage of these things coming up out of all of the lakes, the Great Lakes and stuff. And then just start flying and hovering around their neighborhoods. It's so crazy, it's funny. Because people is trying to justify this. And all I got to say, if these are actual drones and they make a drone that can be underwater and shoot out of the water at 200 miles an hour and then be flying in the air and hover around your neighborhood for the next 8 hours, where can I buy one of them at? I want me one. I want one of them. Where can I get? Do they sell them at Best Buy? Because I need to get my hands on one of them bad boys. Please, I got 4 drones. I love them. If I could get my hands on one of them, let me know. Where can I get it at? Circuit City? Circuit City or Best Buy or something? Radio Shack? Where can I pick one of them up? Because that took the cake for me. But all these men with all these badges, they've been in all the wars over 59,000 years. All of them fighter pilot. I've been a fighter pilot for 72 years, and I'm a general now. And yeah, what's that? Well, we're still working on that. Wait. You like 400 years old, and you've been a general for 300 of those years, and you've seen every vehicle ever made, even the Model T Ford car, and you don't know what that is? That's classified at the moment, and we don't want to speculate. What? You better speculate. You got millions, if not billions, of people watching us. Man, you better get to speculating. We need to know what that is. So everybody keeps saying what they will and what they won't do, what they will and what they won't eat, where they will and where they won't live, and everybody's still trying to live high off the hog. In about 30 days or so, we all about to see biblical prophecy in all shapes and sizes. It's gonna be a hoot. This is about to be as chaotic, because it already is. It already is. It's about to be as chaotic as on the very first Batman movie, when the Joker started throwing money into the crowd, dancing to Prince. In the very first Batman movie, when Jack Nicholson was the Joker and started throwing that money, throwing that into the streets, and all the chaos, when the smoke start coming out, the green smoke, and messing people up and stuff. What this is about to look like. This is about to be that. In real life, we can't imagine nothing that chaotic. We can't imagine it. You know what? We can't, everybody to live in this country, you know why them other countries don't like us? You know why they can't stand us? Anybody that was born and raised and live on this soil, you want to know why them other countries don't like us? We also, they don't like us. One of the reasons is because we have no idea or cannot even fathom the pain that some of these countries be going through when they're at war. We sitting here eating our doggone chili dogs and cheese, and we wasting food hand over fist, and they over there hiding under rubble, trying to hide from the enemies when there's nowhere to run. And we sitting over here giggling and watching our sitcom TV, our cable, and eating all this food, and we all fat, we well fed, and our definition of hunger is you didn't have your daily fix of Little Debbie snack cake. That's your form of hunger. You only had one lunch break today. That's our form of hunger. And they look over here at you, greedy, fat, lazy, arrogant, ignorant. That's why they don't like us. And then we go to their countries. We go visit their countries for vacation so we can go look at the ruins. They're at war. And we want to go vacation over there. We want to first look at ground zero. So when we go to them countries, what we say, man, them Europeans show is rude. Or them other countries, they fighting, they show is rude. They show is disrespectful. Because you came to a war field for vacation, so you can look down at them like, must be terrible. Here, have some change, boy. That. You know how that, because you can leave anytime and come back to paradise, aka America, whenever you feel like it. And they can never escape that torment. They don't even know if they're going to be alive in the next few hours, let alone the next day. And we go there as like a amusement park feature. We go into their territory because we ain't got nothing better to do with our time and money. We want to go see something else just a little bit more exotic. Like, I don't know, people laying in their own juices in the middle of the street. Why do you think every time the newsman keeps saying, they've captured several American hostages now. There's a group of Americans over there. Why is you over there? Why are you over in these places where they've been fighting for years? Well, I wanted to go visit. When the news finally talked to him, I wanted to go visit the monuments and I wanted to go visit several sacred places. Stay your ass to the house. Every time they go and catch one of them, they know you American because you fat, you arrogant. They can pick you out. I don't care if you're wearing their garb, their clothes, their traditional garb. They can smell us a mile away, smell like Gucci cologne. They can smell you. Oh, American. They snatch you up like the last piece of chicken. And then they got you on the run. Stay your butt out of these other countries. Right now ain't no time to be taking no exotic vacations overseas, over border lines. This ain't, everybody better hunker down, chill, count your food, count your reserves, count your bullets, and shut up and sit down and relax and see how this is going to play out. Because I'm not going nowhere. I was supposed to go to my condo this year for my birthday. I told her I ain't going nowhere. I'm not leaving. I'm not going to Florida for anything. I'm not making no long distance traveling for the next at least year. At least. I don't want to. I'm scared of what's about to happen. You might get stuck in Florida and they build some kind of border and say you can't come out. You stuck. This is where you live. California, same thing. They trying to make where they cut California off. California gonna be its own country. I'm not leaving. I'm scared to go anywhere. You might need a passport just to get over to Georgia. The way things is going, I don't, man. How many people got their passport? How many people got their passport right now? I've been telling folks to get their passport for 6 years. How many people got their passport? For 6 years, when stuff was going on, not 6 to 8 years, something like that. Things were so kooky back then. I was like, man, I'm going to get my whole family passports. I paid a grip, but all of us got passports because I was like, I don't know what they about to have us doing. And this time is even worse. If they tell me I got to go somewhere, I don't want to be held up at customs because I ain't got my papers in my. Here's another one. They said it. Now, this ain't me. Don't blame me. They said they about to start allowing stop and frisk again, right? 100%. If you ain't carrying around some sort of paperwork or ID, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. What times do that remind you of? I'm going to tell you what, and this is why everybody didn't like that stop and frisk. Back in the slave days, when the dude in the White House would let the slaves leave the area, or some of these slaves ain't slaves, they're actually free men, you was always stopped and asked about your papers. Basically, stop and frisk. Asked about your papers. Let me see your papers. Let me see your credentials. You say you free, let me see. That's what stop and frisk is. But they ain't stopping and frisking nobody else except for folks that look like me. This new stop and frisk and let me see your papers is about to be your passport. I don't think your driver's license is good enough because they know that could be easily forged. Go get your passport right now. I don't know if you're going to have it in time. And frankly, I don't even know if it's going to matter. But better have to have it than not. Right? I'm going to let y'all go. My phone going to cut off, and I've been cutting up. We're supposed to be talking about tiny houses. Hey, y'all, everybody, sorry, but the truth is the truth. It is what it is. Y'all know it. Y'all know I ain't lying to you. Whether you like what I'm saying or you don't, you know I'm being realistic with you. Some people don't like real truth, and I get it. Because the truth is scary as hell. The truth is scarier than a lie. I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to go. Listen. Which would you prefer? Say your husband or your wife, when you ask them, have you been cheating? And they say, hell yeah. That's not the response you wanted right out the gate, right? You was ready for them to be like, girl, you crazy. You tripping. You always tripping. You always that. That's what you was preparing. You was geared up to hear. But what if you said, you messing around on me? Yep. With your sister. And I love it. You wasn't ready for that. Sometimes the truth hurts way worse than a lie. Don't lie to me, Billy. Don't lie to me. I ain't your sister. I love that thing, right? Yeah. Yep, I am. Now what? You wasn't ready for that dose of reality. Some folks say they don't want to be lied to. Shh. Okay. That is this kind of truth right here. People don't want to hear the prices going up. People don't want to hear you about to be broke. People don't want to hear that you about to be jobless and homeless. They don't want to hear it because it's the truth. People already jobless. People already homeless. Prices is already going up, and people don't want to hear it, that it's going to get worse than this. With that being said, I'm out. Live, I'm 73. I love y'all. Like it or love it. Hate it. Deny it. You'll find out. You will know. You will know. You will know. You'll know in a minute. They telling you with their mouths. And them damn marbles is flying around in the sky, lighting up like Simple Simon. With that being said, Live from 73. I love y'all. Get your life together. Get your stuff together. Like that's why I'm getting mine together. I love you, and I'm out. Peace. Have a wonderful day. See y'all at the trade market tomorrow.